Academy of Arts University's K-Art News is next. Coming up, a new Uber service that might help with your commute.
A new kind of salmon being called frankenfish that may soon end up on your kitchen table and in your stomach.
An old-fashioned trend is new again and may be causing some discomfort among women.
Plus a behind-the-scenes look at the year's San Francisco International Auto Show. All that and more coming up on K-Art News next.
Hi there. Thanks for joining us here at the Academy of Arts University's K-Art News. I'm Jane Jomo.
And I'm Shaquille Howard. Here's what we're working on. If it seems like the Bay Area commute is getting worse by the year, you're not imagining things. According to San Francisco Chronicle, not only are there more cars on the bridges, but they're filling up earlier and staying that way until later. The Bay Bridge, the area's busiest, saw an average of extra 4,000 cars a day. That's compared to 5 years ago for an increase of nearly 11%. The majority of those extra cars seem to have come in the 5 a.m. hour, which showed a 75% increase in the amount of traffic. The Bay Area's 6 other bridges reported similar spikes, and the local economy continues to surge.
One new feature that may help speed your commute is from Uber. It's introduced a new feature that now allows drivers to pick up rides headed in the same direction. It is called Driver Destination. So instead of people driving empty cars from their home to San Francisco to wait for a potential ride, they can now post a destination so that anyone around the neighborhood who needs a ride to town can join. Drivers are excited about this new development. An experiment underway in San Francisco's downtown area involves cars, pedestrians, and cable cars. K-Art News reporter Jacob Green has more story.
Powell Street between Ellis and Geary have been converted to red, and new signs warn drivers where they can and can't go for the next 18 months. The reason for this closure is the Powell Street Safety and Sidewalk Improvement Project. This project's goal is to improve the pedestrian safety on the 2 blocks just south of Union Square. According to the San Francisco Municipal Transportation System, more than 4,000 people walk up and down the streets of Powell every hour during peak times. This project also helps protect the cable car's cables from fraying. Alonzo tells us more about the cable car system.
Now, the cable car, it's usually tourists. You got some locals want to ride. It's a cable underneath the ground that's moving 9.5 miles per hour. Here's the brake. 4 pieces of wood on the tracks to help us slow down. And I got a wheel brake right here that I stand on. I got 70% of the brake. You got 30%. You got a a hand brake in the back for the back wheels.
Today, the cable's lifespan is reduced by 25% and has to be changed every 30 days, and not every 50 days like in 2000. By limiting the number of vehicles, the SFMTA hopes the cables will last longer and will have to be changed less frequently. But Alonzo does not like how only a couple of blocks are closed down.
No, just for 2 blocks, no, it don't help us. They think it's helping us, but it's not. They think it's gonna help, preserve the cable, but I don't think so. Just for 2 blocks, it's not helping. Now, all the way up Powell, maybe it will, but not for just 2 blocks.
According to the SFMTA, commercial and passenger loading and unloading will still be allowed here on Powell Street, but through traffic will not be allowed anymore to give cable cars better access through the street. In San Francisco, I'm Jacob Green, reporting for Academy of Arts K-Art News.
If drivers are caught going where they are not supposed to go, they will receive a warning for the next 3 weeks, then could get a ticket after the warning period is over. That recent tour bus crash in San Francisco's Union Square is having a lot of repercussions. State regulators are now calling for regular inspections. They say that the wrecked bus shouldn't have been on the road. Under state protocols, 2/3 of a company's fleet goes unseen. San Francisco Mayor Ed Lee demands that CPUC inspect every single tour bus 100%. Until then, tour buses are on hold until inspections are complete. Chipotle's E. coli outbreak has now hit California as well as New York and Ohio. The illness was first discovered late last month in Oregon and Washington, and now even Minnesota. Investigators have yet to determine the specific ingredient linked to the illness. It results in 45 people being infected and 43 restaurants being closed in the Oregon and Washington areas. A Chipotle spokesperson is saying that they do not believe that it is necessary to close any additional restaurants.
While crab lovers in California wait for the new commercial crab season to be announced, Oregon just announced its crab season starting on December 1st. It will be delayed. This followed an announcement by officials in Washington delaying all crab seasons in affected states. The algae toxins in the crab samples are still unsafe for human consumption. Officials say it is unclear how long the delays will last as long as they continue to test crab samples. For crab fishermen in the Bay Area, it's been a frustrating time of wait and see. Our own Alex Walsh takes a look.
Crab season is over. Dungeness and rock crab along the coast of California has been deemed unsafe to eat by state officials due to a large algae bloom that is making the crustacean inedible. Officials say the crab has been exposed to a neurotoxin that once consumed can cause vomiting, diarrhea, and death in extreme circumstances. Here, in San Francisco's renowned Fisherman's Wharf, losing crab season is less than ideal for businesses, fishermen, and hungry seafood lovers.
Seafood, I enjoy the shrimp is one of my favorite, but I heard about the Dungeness crabs, so I'm trying to stay away from that. Not 100% sure if what they say about it is true, but better be safe than sorry.
The director of the California Department of Fish and Wildlife announced on Friday that crab season would be delayed due to the high toxicity levels. The toxin has been linked to an algae bloom along the California coast that most likely grew due to rising water temperatures in the Pacific Ocean. These higher temperatures are most likely linked to the upcoming El Niño that still hasn't hit California at full force just yet. The toxins are also displacing other aquatic life such as sea lions and other species of fish. While restaurants struggle to compensate for Dungeness crab entrees, local and commercial fishermen are just as disappointed that crab is off the menu. Millions of pounds of crab are pulled off the West Coast each year, an industry worth up to $95 million. California Senator Mike McGuire has said in a recent press conference that we are working to ensure a safe opening to the season, and we will be monitoring ocean conditions with the resource agencies and the Department of Public Health. We're working with state officials to advance the opening of the season, but continued tests must take place to ensure the safety of consumers. But until then, think twice before heading to the Crab Shack. From the Wharf, I'm Alex Walsh with Academy of Arts, K-Art News.
Recent samples from the California coastline indicates the toxicity levels are going down, but officials want to make sure everything is safe for at least 2 weeks before certifying that the crabs are safe to eat.
A new food product is causing a bit of a controversy. The Federal Drug Administration has just approved a genetically modified salmon for human consumption. This is the first altered animal approved for people to eat in the United States. The Obama administration had stalled in approving the fast-growing salmon for more than 5 years because of consumer concerns about eating genetically modified foods. But the agency said the fish is safe to eat. 14 tobacco and e-cigarette companies are being sued for distributing products that contain too high levels of cancer-causing chemicals. Although the tobacco companies are claiming that these allegations are false, the Center for Environmental Health said they are setting a goal to reduce the amount of young people who smoke and vape.
Thanks to Facebook, breaking up with your significant other is so much easier. One of the largest social networks is offering a new feature that allows people to get rid of their posts from foreign partners, since some users don't want to do something as drastic as blocking another person. They will have the option to remove any evidence of the relationship and choose literally to see less of their ex's posts. In another Facebook story, teenagers who have more than 300 friends on Facebook are more stressed than those who don't. That's according to a study out of the University of Montreal. After recruiting 88 boys and girls who range from age 12 to 17, the researchers learned that teens who were doing proactive things like liking their friends' posts and sending encouraging words had much lower levels of cortisol.
An ongoing concern for young baseball players centers on long-term effects, especially on the arms of young pitchers. K-Art News reporter Greg Ivory takes a look at the new policy designed to help extended careers.
Making it as a major league pitcher is really tough to come by. Competing against guys that naturally sit at 95 miles per hour with ease isn't easy. But there's a problem in recent years a lot of major league pitchers are facing: arm fatigue.
How's your arm feel? He's good. Best way to prevent arm fatigue is taking the proper time off, knowing how much you actually threw, and making sure you're doing the right exercises in between throwing. Jot that down. If a guy goes out and throws 15 pitches, guys get on base, there's wild pitches, he's trying to prevent runs from scoring. That becomes a real stressful inning for him.
Arm fatigue is usually caused by the amount of innings a pitcher put on his arm, or in other words, stressful innings. Some studies show that even pitching in your younger years can lead to a pitcher having arm problems later in their career. Arm fatigue usually leads to a baseball term that no pitcher wants to hear: Tommy John. Tommy John refers to a former Major League Baseball pitcher who tore his UCL due to arm fatigue and had a surgery named after him. Many pitchers after his surgery received the same surgery he had, and it's become a trend for injured pitchers. The increase on Tommy John in recent years has skyrocketed for professionals and even youth, from 10% in 1995 to 23% in 2005.
With the Minnesota Twins, they had us doing pretty much rehab every day. We'd go do trigger point or stretching or manuals with the trainer. Trigger point is just a ball or a foam roller. Get the spots that get sore. Do manuals with them day after you pitch. But every day we're doing something to keep ourselves healthy and out of the training room from being hurt.
Pitchers are well aware of the injury and is recommended by their training staff to prevent all arm fatigue at all times. Studies show that if a pitcher throws while his arm is sore from previously throwing, he's more bound to have arm problems than the pitcher that takes the day off. In the past, pitchers was known to throw complete games almost every time out, while now the majors are focusing on innings pitched and keeping limits on their professional pitchers they invest the big bucks in. In Oakland, I'm Greg Ivory for Academy of Art University's K-Art News.
If you are interested in knowing more about recommended pitch counts and rest periods for young arms, Major League Baseball has a list of guidelines according to the age of the player. That info is available on MLLB's website.
Sexually transmitted disease are making a comeback in the U.S. According to the Centers of Disease Control, chlamydia cases are up nearly 3% since 2013, and gonorrhea cases are up more than 5%. Young people are at the highest risk of acquiring an STD. The data found that people between the ages of 15 and 24 made up almost 2/3 of all reported STD cases.
A long-ago fad is now making a comeback, all in the name of fashion. K-Art News reporter Gazmine Griffin has a story of the return of the corset, now known as waist trainer.
Celebrities are known for doing some crazy dieting and exercise routines in order to lose weight. And now a lot of celebrities are using waist training corsets, which is one of the most dangerous methods so far. The Kardashians, Jessica Alba, and Snooki are big fans of this product, which is now gaining a lot of popularity on YouTube from the beauty gurus. Tony Hill from Benicia agrees with using waist training corsets.
I have a girlfriend that wears them. She seems to really like it when she works out. So if that's your thing, then go for it.
The purpose of a waist training corset is to slim your waist and to help your curves stand out. Doctors and physicians say when you wear a waist training corset, your lungs and ribs are being squeezed, crushing your organs and making it hard for you to breathe. And some women have reported serious side effects like bruising of the bones, feeling lightheaded, and a decrease in blood flow. Some women have even passed out from wearing one too long. And most women who have tried this for months say that this doesn't even work. Monique Banshee from Benicia is aware of how dangerous waist training corsets are.
I think that there are healthier methods of doing it, like more natural methods. It's really up to them, but personally I wouldn't do that because I do work out regularly and I eat healthy, and I think that works for me.
A lot of weight training corsets are made out of steel bones and latex material, which makes you sweat a lot. And when you sweat, you are losing water weight, not fat. There are a lot of safe and healthy methods to lose weight and to stay fit. Ask your nutritionist or your doctor what the best method is for you. In Benicia, I'm Jasmine Griffin for County Arts University's KR News.
Most medical experts do not advise wearing waist trainers throughout the day and recommend that you will limit your use to only 1 to 2 hours a day. Everyone strives to be in perfect shape, but for some people, waist training and going to the gym do not sound very appealing. One of the popular alternatives that people turn to in order to achieve a better physique is juice cleanse. Our reporter Lada Kondrachnia has more to say about it.
For those who don't know, juice cleanse or juicing is a demanding diet that requires a person to consume nothing but fruit and vegetable juices. It is meant to rid your body of toxins, prevent diseases and lose weight, obviously. At first glance, it seems like a good idea. You're getting your daily dose of vitamins and eat a bunch of healthy foods. Nevertheless, there is also a huge downside to this dieting trend. These juices, unless you add some type of protein powder, have very little to no protein at all, and the huge weight loss that you experience in a short amount of time is temporary, meaning that as soon as you start eating again, you'll most likely get it all back. How do I know? Well, I myself used to do juicing when I was dieting. I felt fine at first. In only 3 days, I lost over 8 pounds, yet on the 4th day, I started getting a stomachache and nausea, and it forced me to stop. Then, after just 1 day of eating normally again, I gained back half of the weight I lost. Honestly, I would not recommend this diet to anyone because it puts too much stress on your body, but that's just my opinion.
Thanks for that opinion, Lada. Now for a look at the news and sports. Let's join Alex Walsh.
Hello and welcome to this week's special segment. I'm Alex Walsh. Coming up is a recap of the top sports stories from around the world. So, without further ado, let's head to Spain, where Barcelona faced Real Madrid in a highly anticipated El Clasico match on Sunday. The Catalan Giants scored their first goal after just 10 minutes. Luis Suarez was at the end of a great attacking move that would put Barcelona up 1-0. Barcelona's next goal wouldn't come until 5 minutes before half-time. Andres Iniesta picked the ball up on the halfway line, dribbled forward, and scooped the ball through to Neymar, who coolly finished past Keylor Navas for Barcelona's second. Second half, 52 minutes in. Andres Iniesta works a give and go with Neymar at the top of the penalty box, and the Spaniard hits a rocket to make it 3-0. And if things weren't bad enough for Ronaldo and co., Barcelona scored their fourth and final goal in the 74th minute, Luis Suarez with his second goal of the match. Barcelona head coach Luis Enrique was pleased with the side after their big win, and here's what he had to say after the match.
I think we were the better side. We had to deal with moments of pressure, and we dealt with that. I think we created quite a lot of chances away from home in a ground like the Bernabeu against quality players. We were ruthless in front of goal, safe at the back. I don't think we didn't really concede a chance in the whole of the first half, and I think we deserved the win more than criticism of Real Madrid.
In other news, English boxer Anthony Crolla rose to victory over Darlis Perez on Saturday to become world lightweight boxing champion. This happened almost 1 year after burglars left Crolla with a broken skull in a botched home invasion. Crolla secured victory after 4 rounds before delivering a devastating left hook to Perez that left him down for the count. Many sportsmen tweeted their congratulations after the fight, as Crolla also tweeted his feelings after making the climb back to the top spot. Well, that's all the time we have here for sports. I'm Alex Walsh. See you next week.
Thanks, Alex. Here's Kana Field with an exciting interview from one of the many hard-working athletic coaches here at the Academy, Coach Katie Abercamp.
Thank you, Shaq. I'm here today with head coach of the women's soccer team, Katie Abercamp. How are you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing great. So how long have you been coaching here at the Academy of Art?
I've just completed my 2nd season here at ArtU, but I've been coaching now for 8 years in the college.
For the women's soccer team?
Yeah.
Oh, great. And where did you move here from?
I moved from the Midwest, a small town called Quincy, Illinois.
And what brought you here to San Francisco?
Just the head coaching opportunity. It's my first one. I was an assistant for 6 years and just felt like moving on into a bigger city, and I happened to have some connections here, and so it worked out.
All right, and so what were some of the goals that you had for your team this year?
We really were trying to build our team chemistry up, and I thought we did a really good job at creating a family-like environment. We had 9 new recruits come in this year, so we had a big incoming class with about 15 returners, and so our goal was to get that group to mesh really well, and I thought we did a good job of executing that.
All right, great. And so would you say like all of your team goals have been met, or?
Yes and no. I mean, I think with creating a family-like environment for our team, that was one of them, and staying positive throughout the whole season was another one. With our record, I don't think we accomplished what we wanted to, but we did see a lot of improvement with playing more as a team and connecting well on the field. And so overall, that was a big accomplishment for me and my coaching staff.
Yeah, you guys had your first 3 conference games in Hawaii. You won all 3 of them, and you actually made history for the Academy of Art women's soccer team by winning your first home game. How does that feel?
It was good, and it was against a CCAA team, which is a big accomplishment. They are a powerhouse conference here on the West Coast and the West region, and so for us to do that at home, that was big time especially for our seniors who have been around for a while, and also our newcomers to see that this is the level we want to get to, and so it was exciting.
And what were some of the challenges that you think you faced, your team?
I think, we just faced challenges. I mean, going to Hawaii was awesome. We went 3-1 on the road, which is really hard to do. And then we came back and had a long stretch of games that, we faced a lot of tough games, but a lot of games that we saw ourselves competing in. And I thought that was important for our confidence going forward. There were a lot of close games. It's not like we were getting beat badly every game, but we were, losing games 1-0 or 2-1, and we finally saw ourselves competing against high-level teams.
And where do you see this program going in the next year?
I see it continuing to build, especially with our returners coming back. We're losing a great senior class with, people who had a lot of experience, but we have a lot of kids coming back that got a significant amount of playing time this year, which is exciting for us, and I think we'll be able to see that group grow and, hopefully set some new goals this coming, spring and work on those. And, I'm just excited to see the kids come back, and hopefully we can reach 500 this year and have a better record.
Great. Thank you so much, Katie. Back to you guys.
He put a ring on it. Actors Sofia Vergara and John Manganiello tied the knot on the sunny beaches of Florida. Attending guests enjoyed the 5-star resort and even got to witness the groom surround his bride with the Guns and Roses song, Sweet Child O' Mine. The newlyweds are continuing to share lavish photos of the wedding on their social media accounts. A lot going on in entertainment this week. Here is Peter Salcido with entertainment news.
Thanks, Dion. The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2 in theaters now fell short of $57 million, resulting as the lowest ranked movie of the Hunger Games franchise. Lionsgate, the studio that funded Mockingjay Part 2, was pleased with the results. David Spitz, a Lionsgate domestic distribution chief, stated that anytime we can have a conversation about a movie grossing over $100 million in its opening weekend, that's an unbelievable result. Stepping back into the light, Adele dropped a new record called Adele 25. Adele exclaimed, "My last record was a breakup record, and if I had to label this one, I would call it a makeup record." She says she's making up with the lost time, everything she did and did not do. Let's watch a clip from her song, Hello. J.K. Rowling, author of the Harry Potter series, has reopened the wizarding world of Harry Potter. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them is an extensive story explaining the magical creatures in the wizard world. Coming to theaters soon, Eddie Redmayne will play the lead as Newt Scamander. This extended story of Harry Potter's school book is expected to be in theaters in 2016. Having a 36% uptick, Jennifer Lopez hosted the American Music Awards, which attracted 12.93 million total viewers, a 36% increase from the 2014 AMAs. Taking Artist of the Year was One Direction, beating Ariana Grande, Sam Smith, and Nicki Minaj. Favorite male artist was Ed Sheeran, and favorite female artist was Ariana Grande for pop rock. The Weeknd took Album of the Year and Best Soul and R&B Artist. And the top soundtrack was Pitch Perfect 2, beating 50 Shades of Grey and Season 1 track of Empire. That's all for entertainment. See you next time.
Thanks, Peter. The 58th San Francisco's annual celebration of all things automobile is kicking off at the Moscone Center. Mark Mueller reports what's new for this year.
America loves its automobiles, and that love affair is obvious here at the San Francisco 2016 International Auto Show, where we are about to go full throttle into the future. Automakers believe the future lies with hybrids, electric, and hydrogen-powered vehicles.
What Toyota believes is going to be the fuel of the future. The same way as gasoline has brought us the current 100 years, they think hydrogen is going to be the fuel for the future, which is what the Mirai runs on. It runs on compressed hydrogen gas.
But hydrogen isn't new.
The one that BMW came out with a few years ago was actually burned liquid hydrogen. So that's a little bit different. It was a combustion engine, and it did have some carbon emissions. This has 0 emissions.
For you budget-conscious car shoppers, Honda Civic gets a makeover.
The 10th generation Civic is completely new. It's a new platform, new body style, new features, and new powertrain. Really, it's the most aggressive and progressive generation of the Civic redesign that we've ever done.
A redesigned look also comes standard with futuristic safety features.
Collision mitigation braking will help the car stop before impact. Adaptive cruise control will maintain a safe space between you and the car ahead of you, all by itself while using cruise. And that's just part of a package that will help complete your awareness when you're driving on the road.
PG&E is also here to educate consumers on the benefits of electric and hybrid vehicles. You can even qualify for up to $2,500 in state and federal rebates, which is great for your holiday budget. What auto show wouldn't be complete without a luxury car collection?
On this particular car, it's got the Lyrical Copper paint, Lyrical Copper speaker grills, and accents inside the car. The design team at Rolls-Royce has said, here's an idea that's something that's a little special, a little unique. So there may only be 20 or 30 of these cars in the U.S. throughout the production run.
Check out the new Rolls-Royce Wraith, inspired by Music Edition. It can be yours for a mere $400,000. This is Mark Mueller with Academy of Art University News.
The San Francisco Auto Show is open through November 29th, including Thanksgiving Day. Please visit their website to get more information.
That wraps it up for us for this edition of Academy of Arts University's KAD News. For everyone here, thanks for joining us. I'm Din Jamal.
And I'm Shaquille Howard. See you back tomorrow and enjoy the holiday week.